What up, YouTube? E-King Fight News here. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it way back, and we're gonna be talking about mind games in this one because that pre-fight, the psychology behind boxing. You know, I've always felt that Bernard Hopkins has always been the best at at manipulating the psychology of the pre-fight, the pageantry, so to speak, the hype. Bernard Hopkins knows how to promote a fight, and he knows how to fucking be the villain. He was, in my opinion, he was the villain before Floyd Mayweather ever was. Back when Floyd Mayweather was a pretty boy, Bernard Hopkins was the villain. And back when the middleweight division was pretty much being dominated by Bernard Hopkins, Felix Trinidad was on the rise. He knocked out William Choppy, and Don King had his tournament where the winners would eventually fight each other for the middleweight crown. And look what Bernard Hopkins did. Incredible, what to the level he made you hate him before this fight.
And then there were two, Trinidad and Hopkins, in the most anticipated middleweight matchup in years. When Hopkins threw the flag of Puerto Rico to the ground at a New York press conference, an already hot fight got hotter. Hopkins, perceiving a pattern of Trinidad's Puerto Rican fans disrespecting America, including the booing of the American anthem at the Trinidad Joppy fight, promised his own personal revenge.
Come Sunday morning, everybody in Puerto Rico will have their flag at hashtag.
Hopkins continued the campaign of belligerence at multiple press stops, including an incident in Puerto Rico that saw pre-fight hype become hysteria when Hopkins once again threw the Puerto Rican flag to the ground.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine any other fighter in our day and age going over to the home country? That's like, that's like fucking Antonio Margarito going over to fucking Puerto Rico back when he was about to fight Cody and throwing a flag down. You know how crazy that shit would be? That's what Bernard Hopkins did to Felix Trinidad in Puerto Rico, and he had to get the fuck out of there. He had to hightail it, man. You can see him going up the rafters, just finding the nearest exit. Man, that Bernard Hopkins, man. Before Floyd Mayweather was ever a villain, there was Bernard Hopkins, and I think an argument could be made that Floyd Mayweather picked up on that and ran with it, because at one point he was the pretty boy. He was pretty boy Floyd. It wasn't Money Mayweather until, really, I think until he fought Miguel Cotto. Or actually no, Victor Ortiz was actually the first time I heard them say Money Mayweather. So yeah, I think Bernard Hopkins is the king of mind games, and I think, just as a throwback to bring this shit back up, man, it's classic the way he promoted being the villain against Felix Trinidad was extraordinary, and he stood for something. He stood for the United States. This was only I think it was like 20 days after 9/11 shit, or 15 to 20 days after 9/11. So that was a big deal. The fight was still happening, and Bernard Hopkins put on an absolute classic performance. One for the ages. The way he knocked out, he basically chopped Felix Trinidad down and finished him off in the 12th round in extraordinary fashion. Absolutely extraordinary. And later on he went on to knock out De La Hoya too. Unfortunately, it's funny because that De La Hoya fight, I wish it was promoted better, because I think there was a lack of promotion there where that could have been a true mega fight. But it just I don't know what happened, if the fight was made too soon. But that fight was not as big as Felix Trinidad versus Bernard Hopkins, and the promotion in that fight was classic, and to me, that was the first villain role I ever saw played out to that extreme, where they're taking the flag. I don't know if he burned the flag, but he threw it down twice in two different press conferences. That's pretty damn crazy. So let me know what you guys think. It is what it is. Shout out to Bernard Hopkins. He's about to, fight Babu Shumanov again. That's going to be a very dangerous fight for him. And at 49 years old, who knows how much time he has left in boxing. So that's what it is, guys. Peace out. Let me know what you guys think, too, on Hopkins versus Shumanov, because I really have not decided. And I think that fight could be very competitive, but it just depends how much Babu Shumanov brings to the table. He's an aggressive, powerful kind of guy. He reminds me of Jermaine Taylor in some ways, so it'll definitely be very interesting.